We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Then they got it with a green leaf sway. See bunnies rolling up, we light it all way. Mr. Getter's got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden Cultivation Network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Shouting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden Cultivation Network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy
Halfway
Wednesday.
to Friday.
Finally.
Yes. I can't wait.
Friday
I
can't get
cannot
here
wait for
fast
the
enough.
weekend.
Had a hell of
It's
a
a
week.
long weekend. It's also a long weekend, so I'm excited for that.
J-Rats and I have been crushing it at work this week. Having a blast.
Yeah.
We are loving life right now. So much fun.
So I've been hearing.
Yeah. Flooded basement today. Our backhoe guy ripped a water main out of the water meter inside of a house, and it flooded a basement today with like that much water.
Ooh. That's
But
not
on the
good.
bright side of things, I found some weed plants in the guy's house and was able to have a little conversation about plants.
Well, that's always a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't too happy though. I don't blame him. But yeah.
So, last week we had a great guest. I'm trying to think. We've had so many great guests, and I'm getting everybody confused. Who did we have last week?
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
I think I know who. I think, but I just in
Who?
case. Was it crop culture?
Yes, it was crop culture
Okay.
Chris. It was so good it
See?
blew our minds completely.
So if you
Well,
missed that,
you know what the problem is we've been booking so many people this week, so we've been
oh
talking
my
with so many
goodness.
people this week about coming on the show, so it's like trying to keep everything straight sometimes is a nightmare.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
pop culture, Chris. That
So
was a hell of an episode.
if you missed that episode, you could go back and rewatch it, or you could go over on Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network.
Yes, 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 yeah, and we got a hell of a lineup coming too. It's going
We
to be
do.
a blast. Some people you know, some you might not know, some you know very, very well, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yes.
And if you want to find those episodes, you can check them out on Spotify,
Yeah, I
and
said
you
that.
can find us on Instagram under Garden Cultivation Network. Did you say all that? I don't think so.
I didn't say the Instagram yet. No, I didn't get that far yet.
All right.
It's been a long day. You got to give me a little bit of grace here.
I know. I was saying it for you.
But yes, as Ganix was saying, we are also over on Instagram under Garden Cultivation Network. Every Friday, we do a cultivator of the week. So if you have anyone you would like to nominate, you can reach us over on Instagram to put your nominations in. We ask them a couple questions to get to know them better, and yeah, we spotlight Friday nights on them.
Yes, yes. And C Bunny Grows 2 on Instagram and Mr. underscore Organics on Instagram.
Yes.
Also,
We are also,
we're trying to post more on our YouTube. If people have noticed we've been posting shorts, not so much long form videos. The long form videos don't do quite as well as the shorts do, so we're gonna try to post some shorts and stuff on there just to kind of keep you guys entertained through the week when we aren't live. And yeah, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so what does that
So
mean?
share, 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 share. And when we hit that 1,000, we are going to be doing a monster giveaway. I'm going to call it a monster giveaway because we got some cool ass people involved in this so far. And
We
I
do.
don't I don't even know what all the prizes are yet, but I just know some of the people that are involved and some of the people that said they'll be involved. So I'm very excited for this one. This is definitely going to be, I don't know if it's going to be the biggest giveaway we've ever done, but it's going to be the biggest giveaway we've ever done on Garden Cultivation Network. We'll call it that.
Yes. So like,
So,
share, and subscribe.
yes, yes, yes. And we're getting there. We're moving up, definitely moving up. So, it'll happen
Yes.
sooner than later and yeah, I'm very excited for it. So, stay tuned.
Yes. And this week we have a very special guest as well.
Yes,
Dun,
yes.
dun,
A
dun.
good friend in the community, a badass girl, the
Yes.
Queen of Autoflowers. Miss
Miss
CC420.
CC420.
Hey everybody!
How's it going?
Welcome.
That little welcome wants to get you moving there. Makes you want to start dancing. I was sitting there, oh, they're gonna pull me up. I said I better not start dancing here. So, yep,
This
Gen
one was
X.
a
Woo
little
woo.
this one was a little thinner on the screen, so I was like, "Oh wait, I'll pull her up right at the right time."
Oh yeah, because it hides me
I
perfect.
usually
You know.
I usually try to bring them up right when I start the video and then you can't see them, but I don't know what it
Mm-hmm.
was this week. It's different this week.
Oh, thank you, third guy. Yeah, that initial name, I will have to say, it does come from Thurgood. He's the one who's been calling me that for I don't know how long, and then supposedly I can't tell you when he added the Omega onto it, but God, and
You're
I
like a
guess it's titled
Pokemon. It just keeps
keeps yeah,
evolving.
just keeps
Yeah.
evolving.
But
Well,
before we get too far into it, for those
mhm,
who don't know who you are, which I'm sure is nobody, but for those who don't, can you just give a little introduction?
I certainly can. I am a grower. I actually grow for my husband. I actually don't consume at all. Unfortunately, I wish I could. Doesn't do well for me, but I do grow for him. I've been growing
That's
for
awesome.
a little over a year and a half. This September will be two. Um, and I just enjoy it. Try to get in and try to incorporate myself in multiple aspects, trying to figure out different things, um, stuff to keep me going that I like. I found that gardening actually does tend to relax me a little bit sometimes, and I just kind of get in a
Definitely.
zone and I forget about the world around me, just especially when I'm defoliating. I'm just like, hubby will walk in and I'm like, what? Uh,
It's a good
I feel like you
headspace
but
to
got to get
be
your
in.
I feel like you got to get yourself in a certain mind state to even want to get in there and defoliate. So once you're there, it's like Zen almost.
right, yeah, yeah. My ADHD is kicked in. I'm focused.
Yeah.
But other than that, I try to help out in the community. I do help produce the Harvest Show, which is on
Yes, yes.
Saturdays with Rue and Elle and Canorado Chris, and a couple of them are in the chat. Thanks, guys.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
very organized grower. Yes, actually, I am. Um, you wouldn't know it to look at my shelves, but my seed collection, my lists, my everything,
I
they're
was just
all
gonna say
organized, cataloged. It's
I was just gonna say I've seen your seed boxes. You're
mhm.
definitely an organized grower. I think you showed them on a Friday night one time, and you're like, "Hey, check this out," and I was like,
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
"It's like
Yeah, and
it's
now I
better
have a
inventory
spreadsheet.
control than like
Mhm.
a seed bank, I think." So
Yeah. So I have a spreadsheet now, and I'm looking for all the different grow-alongs that I'm either hosting or doing. I'm looking through, and like with actually I did that for like 2.5 hours with my friend earlier. Um, we sat on the phone and sitting there looking through because we're hosting several, between me and her both, we're hosting several grow-alongs all year. We've got them planned all the way
Nice.
out until 2025.
That's awesome.
I mean 2026 into March of 6. So
crazy.
yeah, we
I'm gonna
got a
have to
lot
get in
going
on one
on.
of those. Definitely, I haven't been in a grow along in a long time, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to pay attention and watch.
Oh, my hair's interfering with the mic. Okay, well then I'll keep it back. I keep playing with it. Will you bring me the pail and bucket? I want to show him that one. Maybe Ganix wants to get onto this one. Um, I do have, because I right now have the May the 4th be with you grow along, because
Mm-hmm.
we do like Star Wars. We just started a grow along, somebody else's grow along, but we just started doing it. It's the Rainbow Reefer Rally for the LGBTQ community. And then
Yep.
my next one, I don't know if you want to get in on this one, Ganix, but it's on my Discord. It is for summertime. It is the Pail and Shove roll along.
Ooh, that would be
So
That's
fun.
cute. I like that.
yeah, so we wanted to do summertime strains and just something that would be cool. So the shovel has to be with it. It has to either be attached, stay attached to it, or Carl's actually, we're going to take them and kind of grow them like into the pot.
Yeah.
So it's going to sit up and sit like this, but it's just a little pail and shovel. It can be this one's going to be autoflowers because it needs to be final pot. So,
Yep.
hey, Big Turt, but it's going to be just any strain, anything you want. We're also going to do a solo cup grow. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Well, I, I got your other thing going. We're going to do a solo cup grow coming up, and this is a little bit different. I found really big solo cups.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That
I
is
love that.
So yes, so you can do any size solo cup you want. My friend Peaceful went and found those. They have them at Michael's. I found mine at the dollar store. I thought they were really cool.
that
So we're
is
gonna
cool.
have
I've
They
never
are.
seen solo
yeah,
cups that big before.
No.
yeah, but you'll be able to do them in either the regular size solo cups, big solo cups, whatever, as long as it's a solo cup.
Right.
Like even the Gambit cups, you can do those. They're still in a solo cup. So
Could you do
they're
these?
they you can do
Bud
we can do
cups.
bud cups. Yeah, yeah, they're
'Cause
pretty much
I
the same
think
thing as
they're
a solar cup, but
they're
it
16
has to be
ounce. They're the
final
same
pot.
size as a
Yeah,
regular solo cup.
yeah. So and it's finally a beer pong with those. But yeah, I mean, we got all kinds of stuff going on, and all of these are going to be on my Discord. And if anybody wants, I can post the link for that if you want to join any of them. Um,
Nice.
but I try to do all kinds of stuff. I grow, I produce. We've been to a few events, met some great people. Honestly, a lot of big people in the community. And I will be completely honest, I have not even posted my MJ BizCon videos yet. I'm still in the process of making them. I just can't seem to push the button. Um,
There's a
but I
lot
mean, that's
to those though. Like a whole
yes.
weekend event or like a 2 or 3 day event, like that's a lot of footage to go through.
It is.
It
Like I
is. I mean,
remember
I
with
did.
Bunny and I, it was like they wanted us to post
Yeah.
videos right away. They're like, "Hey, can you guys post some videos?" And we're like, "Man, there's so much to go through."
Yeah.
So
Oh, thank you,
yeah,
J Rax,
I
for
get
posting
that.
it. Yeah,
I totally
and
get that. Yeah.
it really is a lot. But I threw a bunch of the footage, and I'm like, oh no, that goes here, and I want to put that there, and I'm trying to do it day by day, and then I didn't get a ton of footage, but it's because unfortunately I got sick when I went. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd never in my life even heard of elevation sickness. It is a real thing. Especially, when you grow up somewhere. I mean, I was born in South Florida, so there is, I mean, there's no elevation. So it was
Right.
a
Yeah.
huge difference going from pretty much nothing to, like
Yeah.
2,500
Florida, you're
feet.
pretty much like at sea level, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and I was at the very end when I was born. I mean, I've moved since then, but I've never been in a high sea level area.
Yeah.
So going from
Yeah.
there to like Las Vegas, which you wouldn't think is it's a massive difference.
That's
And
crazy.
oh man, it was just crazy. So, yep.
Hmm.
Shout out to Seed to Harvest. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
you definitely met some cool people there. There was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people from the community that were there. Some big, some small, you know what I mean? Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
great mix of everybody. And watching the videos, I think Macho posted a bunch of videos. He
Mm-hmm.
posted some really good videos actually.
Yes.
And the people that were in there, it's just like, oh my God, like we should have been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. I have some really great pictures that are gonna go in my video too. And it with Macho, I mean, we hung out with him pretty much from the time that I actually started feeling throughout the whole rest of the trip. He was actually the
yeah,
last person that we saw because we went to the airport and everything together. And then we split ways
Oh.
to go opposite ends. But we spent
that's
the
cool.
most time with him. So just an
Yeah,
all around
he's a cool
awesome
dude.
guy. Oh, he is. He is.
Yes. Yes.
Very caring, always willing to help out and do things for others. So just, as always, just a great person. But there were multiple. There were a few that I didn't get to see. I did not get to see Sly when he was there. Um, but other than that, I mean, you're looking at Matt from Strange Show, Matt from ICANN, the Stash
Yeah.
Blend Boys, to meet Heaven. And I mean, it was just Mary and Bree, and I mean, it was everybody. I mean, there were so many people there, all the guys from 20 and Sebastian and Chubbs. And I'd already been into Chubbs for I don't know how long before I even knew he, got into the fast bud stuff,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it was really great getting to meet him because we'd already talked about family and kids and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so just getting to meet all those people and meeting Dawn from Can and Can and getting introduced. It was the first time anybody got to see Mo, and getting to meet Mo. And I mean,
yeah,
he is just an awesome guy. He
Yes.
really,
that's
and
cool.
I will have to meet Mo. It was probably one of the best feelings that I felt with somebody growing my stuff because he's in Austria. And for the most part, he was actually smoking spliffs while we were there. I think that's how you say it, with the tobacco and yeah.
Yep.
So he went to the dispensary and got some Khalifa Kush while we were there. And then I gave him some of my, because I brought some plant with me. I gave him some of mine, and he's like, "This is better." And I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, better than Khalifa
That's
Kush." I was like,
awesome.
"Cool." I was like, "At least I
So,
know I beat Dispo weed, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that."
So
absolutely.
what made you
Yeah.
decide to take the leap to start growing? Because you said that you're a non-consumer yourself, your husband is. What made you decide to finally be like, okay, I want to grow this for you?
Honestly, the cost. Um,
Yeah.
and the quality. I mean, just the
Yeah.
quality is not there anywhere you go. Speaking of dispo
Yeah.
weed or anything else,
Yeah.
That's
you
what made
can't.
me think of it.
Yeah, yeah, you can't get the quality, and it's just the prices that you pay are just astronomical. So anything that we do, of course, me and Carl, we do together. So in his rationale, he sat down and went, okay, I'm spending this much money in this amount of time. Yes, I know it's initially expensive to get into it, especially if you're
Yes.
buying a lot of good equipment and all of this. And he's like, but
Yeah.
in the long run, how long is it going to take to pay for itself? And I'm like,
Yep.
Like one grow,
months. Yeah.
maybe two grows.
Well, I
Maybe.
was going 6 months because I was thinking, okay, the first one, it's just It's not going to be a lot. I'm probably not going to be very good at it, and it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it to sis, I don't sound conceited. It's better than it was garbage, but it was better than what we could get compared to
Right.
what I do
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, I
Yeah,
get
and
that.
definitely better than what you expected your first grow to be.
Yeah.
yes,
Like,
yeah. Well, and a lot of it was the genetics that I was running too. I was
yeah,
actually started with because they were free to me. I was using growing my brother-in-law stuff.
right.
Yep.
So we did buy a few, but I mean, it was, even though we killed it, we didn't kill it, but it wasn't great. I call it we killed it. But it was much. Hey, despicable! That's my buddy. That's my buddy. I props to despicable. I'm gonna change the subject. I have to give him props. He beat me out. If anybody who knows about untrained astronauts grow along,
Oh, yep.
out of the two strains we grew against each other, his won. But I still have to tell you, buddy, I won the contest. I won the overall. I won the war, but you won the battle, buddy. So big
That's
props to
yeah,
you. My hands down.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
is.
also an awesome guy.
yeah.
So
Despicable's a good dude. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
another
definitely
good one.
a buddy of the community for sure. Definitely a
Yeah.
buddy of both Bunny and myself. So
hmm
for sure.
He's
Yeah.
still king. Yeah. You beat me. You beat me. I will admit it. I will admit it. So, but yeah, it's yeah, and that's another thing. Seed to Harvest representing here. They did a good job representing in that untrained astronauts grow along.
Yeah,
So
you guys
grow
really
off.
did
Yes.
hmm
because Rue was in against you at the very end, right?
Yes, yes, it was me and Rue in the finals. It was the
That's
two of us
crazy.
against. Yeah, and Elle was in there too. The only one that didn't grow anything was Chris. He didn't end up getting in the competition, but all three of us were in there, and we all went pretty far.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, boo-hoo, Rue. I'm
Congratulations to
sorry.
everybody.
We both grow really good. We made it that far, me and Rue right there. And because of Rue and my friend Peaceful Mushy, I am actually getting ready to try DWC.
Ooh,
So
Nice.
yeah, so I'm trying
that'll be
something different, because not that I ever try anything different or do anything new or
never,
experiment or
never.
play with my plants
Of course
or
not.
beat the hell out of them or
So I gotta know why autoflowers first? Just out of curiosity, because I know there's a few options out there, and to me, autoflowers are scary as shit. So as a brand new
most people.
grower, what was it about autoflowers that you were like, yeah, I'm doing those first?
Um, honestly, the fact that they were free. Um,
Okay.
it was
It's what was
we did
available.
it was available, but we also researched. Both Carl and I are severely. I mean, well, him more than me, but we're both ADHD. Um, we've never been diagnosed autistic. I have a feeling we both are. My son's autistic, so we have a lot of those traits. So we do a lot of research into anything and everything that we do.
Yep.
And we wanted something that would be easier to start with, or at least I did. I wanted something that would be easier to start with. Yeah, I was kind of scared of photos. He just came in and told me I was kind of scared of photos because I'm like, I don't know. I got to change light cycles. I got to do this. I'm like, you got
Yeah,
to do, and I'm like, no, no. I was like, I want something that's just going to start and go on its own.
and do its thing. Yeah.
And yeah, and do its thing. I mean, it's going to start. I don't want to have to change all this stuff and do everything. And then people were like, oh, well, why did you try autoflowers? Like, well, they just work. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what? And then they were like, well, you get such pretty plants. Well, imagine to see how your photo. Oh, I don't grow photos. What?
Yeah, those are
I'm
the
like
wait a
that.
minute, those are autos?
Yeah, I was like, and actually, that's one of my hurt lines from you. Those are autoflowers. These are autoflowers, folks. I
Well,
still
because
remember.
you look at those
Yes.
plants and you would just looking at them, you would have no idea. You wouldn't even think that those are autoflowers. You
hmm
know what I mean?
No,
Like
not at all.
when I grow autoflowers, people know they're autoflowers. I don't have
Yeah.
to tell people they're autos. They just know. When they're only that big, they know they're autoflowers. So with yours, when they're this big and you're feeling tense with them, with one, I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. So
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
people just have to be reminded that those are autoflowers.
hmm And most up until just now, all of my canna bonsais are all autoflowers. Um,
Yeah, which
I've
is
That's
done,
crazy
crazy
too.
too. Yeah.
yeah. My little elephant was the only one that's a photo that I was doing with El Canosaur, which was the Jimbo from Lazy River Gardens, and
That's
it's the
such a
first
cool
photo
one.
that I've done. Yes. Oh, and you should see. I mean, you've seen the big one that I have in the 2 gallon. It is a beautiful plant. I mean, she is just big and frosty. Has a really great structure. Um,
Yes.
I was actually talking to Lazy River Gardens the other day because Jimbo, he wanted some updated pictures. Um, Jimbo was a strain he actually grew and bred for his wife because it
Mm,
helps with a lot of pain. So she
Oh,
really
okay.
enjoys that one. So
Yeah.
that's one that he did for her. She loves the taste, and she just really likes the flavor and everything of it. So I was just like, okay. He says, and it helps with her pain. Um, and if she doesn't feel like eating, it helps to give her a little bit of an appetite booster. So
nice.
that's her favorite strain. So he did that one for her, and I was like, well, that's really cool. So,
Hmm.
Hmm, that
but
is cool.
yeah, I
That
got
is cool.
connected with him from Silly Rabbit. So,
Nice.
Nice.
Another really
Yeah.
good breeder, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
so because they do a lot of collabs together. They're part of the Dark Seed Society from on Silly Rabbit side. So all of those
Nice.
kind of he keeps all of his collabs in the Dark Seed Society. So anything else is just
Nice.
Silly Rabbit or his.
That's cool.
Did you
So
used to grow anything before this? Like, were you growing any veggies, or was this like your first hand in growing period?
no, I killed succulents. Um, not good. The easiest plant in the world to grow, and I killed them.
I keep killing those two, so I
Yeah,
understand that part.
yeah. I actually have one now that's been alive for about 3 weeks, so I'm doing okay with that succulent. And I actually learned how to propagate succulents. I've been doing some research, so now I have one. I have a couple that are actually growing some roots now. So I think
But
this is
those, can't you
helping.
just kind of like take them off and then plant them? Like plant the bottom tip of them and then they root?
Yeah, you actually even have to plant them. I took them and put them over some cocoa. You just set them on top, and as soon as the cocoa starts to dry out, you just moisten them a little bit. Put a little bit of water, wait for it to dry out, and you moisten it again, and it just starts. The roots will start to grow as long as it's cut the right way, or if you wait for it to fall off or something like that. So I had to watch some videos, but
Yeah,
um,
there's obviously going to be like a proper method to it for sure.
oh yeah, not that I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
do anything proper. I don't do anything normal. As far as growing, if any of y'all know, you've seen any of my stuff, I check pH, and that's pretty much it. I
Yeah.
don't check EC, don't check runoff, don't do any of the normal stuff anybody else
Yeah.
does. I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't do
no.
that part.
Yeah.
And you still use the first nutrients you ever started with, right? Like you
Hmm.
haven't switched that up or anything like that. Like you found one you liked and you
Well,
just stayed with it.
I actually did try grow dots at one point. I started with Strive nutrients. Again, we did a lot of research,
Yeah.
and I'm a very lazy grower. Don't like the 10 to 15 bottles of different things, or the things that you have to mix to do this or that, or all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. Chris is over here in the comments. What's pH? Well, you use grow dots and recharge. You don't have to pH with recharge.
Right.
Um, but it's it was just easy. It was an A and a B, and I'm done. pH it.
Hmm.
I don't check EC. I don't check any of that stuff. Um, I did try grow dots. Now I don't know. It's not that the grow dots didn't work for me, because although they didn't, I think it's just that my grow style, either that
It
or
didn't
it's
fit with your
something
grow
in that
style.
spring water. Yeah, there's something I think, and I'm afraid because we're going to be moving, I'm afraid that the spring water that we get here is what is my, secret weapon.
Secret ingredient.
You were right.
That's what
You
I
were
told
right, Bunny.
Ganix. I was
You
like,
were
it's
right,
her
buddy.
water. I knew it. Don't you?
I've never had it tested, but I'm so afraid that when we move, that I'm not going to have secret ingredient
Right.
You'll
anymore.
have you'll have to transport water from there to the new place.
Yeah. I'm just like, we'll just have to get a water tanker and come down a couple times a year and do grab
Yep.
water and
Yep.
take it back to. And I'm just like, oh gosh. But I'm actually, before I move, we have already decided I'm going to get some water from here, spring water, have it tested. Wherever we move, I'm going to go and find somewhere that has a spring up there and get that water tested. And as long as it's close enough, we can live there.
Then you're
Or
good.
get that water tested and get both of them tested. And then when you move to the new place, if the new one doesn't have what you need, then you're gonna have to find
I can
those
supplement.
additives and
Yeah.
supplement. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Because
like,
it's so funny. We were talking about you the other day, and Bunny was like, "It's her water. I
yeah.
know it's the water. There's something in that water."
I mean, it's the only thing I can think of. I mean, well, I will say, so there are some other people who do use that do grow and do very well with it and do grow fairly decent sized plants and do really well.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of because
Yeah.
I don't do all of this other stuff that everybody else does. So
Yeah.
I
There's
don't
been
know.
lots of things that I've tried where I see everybody else doing so well with it.
Hmm.
And then I try it and I'm like, it just didn't work for me. And I know it's not the nutrients
Yeah.
because I can see everybody else doing so good, you know. So like with
Yeah.
that with Green Planet, the Horty line, it did not work very well for me. It was my own damn fault that my plants
Yeah.
died, but they did not work well for me. But I watch
Yeah.
bunnies grow and I watch flower fox grow and I watch everybody else that uses it and their plants are gorgeous. So it's me,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
So
and
I fully understand that for sure.
I mean, the only reason I came to that conclusion is because Cannerly Chris, he uses cocoa, a can of cocoa. Same cocoa,
Mhm.
uses grow dots, uses recharge, and grows his plants just fine, either autos or photos. I mean, so I'm like, okay, is it an elevation difference? Is it we try to keep, for the most part, most of us try to keep the same around the same temperatures and humidity. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gotta either be the water, the elevation, something. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
I'm just gonna say it's magic in my water and my green little
Whatever it is,
fingers
it's
touching it.
working for you. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just fixed touching them. So as soon as I touch them, they just become butamus, and I'm good to go.
There you go. You got that like fairy dust or something.
Yep,
I don't know
just
what it is, but
Yeah. She's
yeah.
Tinkerbell.
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, I think it's because of my new shirt. I think that's what it is.
Oh
And I
yeah,
showed
you
you guys,
definitely
but I
have to
have to
show
show
that.
everybody else. Look, gardening
Yes.
101. A dirty hoe is a happy hoe.
Hold on.
I
Stay
love
there.
that shirt.
Oh, so I got that from my best friend for Mother's Day, so I had to wear
I love it.
Yeah, so
So,
we've never had this contest before, but CC won best guest's shirt of all time.
yeah. Woo woo,
Definitely.
go me, go me, winning things.
Yeah.
So
That
I
shirt is
still can't
fucking
beat
funny.
I still can't beat Thurgood and how many times I win. So no matter what,
Oh
I don't think
yeah.
anybody
I
will ever
mean,
beat him.
that guy's got probably like 50 up on everybody else.
Nice.
So yes.
Yeah,
So
he's
I gotta know about your self-watering traits because
okay.
I personally have had issues with them. My plants were doing amazing until they weren't. And I don't know if it's because of the nutrients I'm using. I don't know if it's because I was filling them right up. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but my plants wouldn't necessarily drink all of it all at once. And that water would sit there for a little while. So that water goes stagnant after a while. Not necessarily stagnant, but the pH will change over time,
Mhm.
depending on the temperature, depending on how long it's been sitting there for.
Yeah.
And it would get gummed up in there when I was adding my nutrients. How do you, because I've seen you've lifted those trays up and you've shown us those roots that are down inside, and you've been using these things, and you're an avid user of these, and we've all seen those plants and we know how healthy they are and how well they grow.
It works.
Mhm.
What is it that you're doing that I'm not? Is it does it come down to the water again? Like, is that what it
No,
is?
I just stick my finger in it and stir it up. No. Um, I've learned a
So
few
it's the
tricks.
fairy
Yeah,
dust.
it's the fairy dust. Yeah, I just stick my finger. Um, I learned a few things that there are several things that I don't do that some other people do. Um, First thing most people do is they move their plants around when they're on them. My
Right.
plants don't move. As soon as I put them on, they stay on there. I don't lift up the tops, even with my plant on it, unless I absolutely have to. So because as soon as you start moving the plant around or pulling it up, you're by root pruning it. You're killing
Yeah.
off its supply to whether it's either the nutrients or anything. So you have you have your water roots and your feeder roots. So I don't pull them up off the bases at all, unless they start falling over. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Second tip is I start with a lower pH than most people do. Usually when people when they water their plants, especially with cocoa, they're doing like a 5.8 to they sometimes even could go as high as like 6 point, some seen some go up to like 6.2.
Okay.
I start with 5. And that's
Oh,
because,
you
yeah,
start at 5?
yes, I
Wow.
started at 5.5. I've
Oh,
gone as low as
5.5. Okay.
5.4. Yeah, 5.5, 5.4, 5.5. Because it's going to sit in there for a day or so. And depending on
Right.
how big your plant is, it's only going to drink so much. So when they're smaller, I don't start them on the auto watering bases until, of course, the leaves have reached the side of the plants. They can touch, or side of the pots. They can touch, kind of
Yeah.
hang over. I think they're at a point where, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll start. They look like they're big enough to uptake their own. The root hit bottom. We're good.
Yeah.
So I'll put them on there, and we hand water through probably at least once or twice, just to the point where it's dripping down and getting the wicks wet. So it's like, okay, so it realizes there's something there, the wicks stay wet. I don't fill up the bottoms a lot of the time at that point. But
Okay.
then once for either the first or second time, we start watering through, then we'll actually water a little bit through and then fill up the bottom, depending on the size of it. So, thank you. I'm starting to get hot. Oh.
Yeah, because I believe they hold a gallon of water. 1 gallon.
Yes. So
Sorry, there's bigger ones than what I have, but the ones that I have, I think they're the large ones. I think there's the XL ones as well.
yeah,
But I have the large ones, and I believe the large hold 1 gallon.
yeah. So, and sometimes I'll hold a little bit over a gallon. So what I'll do is, what?
Don't forget about the pour over the tops. Multiple throughout
Oh yeah, yeah. So we'll go ahead and I'll pour over the top, and then once we get everything in there, and we'll fill up the bottom after either the second or third time. It just depends on from the plant how I feel, if it's uptaking, if I feel like it's doing okay. But I don't ever fill it all the way up. We'll go, as the smaller the plant, we'll go about halfway up and
Yeah.
just kind of stay there, see how it drinks for a few days. And after about a week or so, we'll start adding more and more until the point where, we're filling the whole thing up.
Right.
Um, So we
Yeah, because
just
by the
continue
time
to
they get
do that.
into
Yeah.
flower, or when they're transitioning into flower, at that point they're starting to take up a lot more water. So
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, and I've had drink as even 1 gallons, it'll drink anywhere from a half a gallon every day. So I'm only filling them up like every other day. So, and one thing I do as well is if the smaller the plant or anything like that, or how, depending on how long it takes for them to fill, like to drink what's in there, I'll pour a little bit of new in there because it's bringing lower pH into what's already in there. So it kind of helps a little bit too, I guess. That's at least that's my philosophy.
I've even
Uh,
gone as far as like I don't know why I have this right here, but I do. I've even gone as far as taking a turkey baster and taking some of that water out of there and testing it to see what it's at, because I was having such a problem with mine, and I've come to the conclusion I'm not using mine right now. My plants are on them, but it's just kind of like a water
a drip
catcher if
tray.
I overwater them,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Um, they're expensive drip trays. They're
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
cheap watering systems, but they're expensive drip trays. Um, but I've even thought, maybe I'll just do a half gallon. Maybe I'll just fill them up halfway
Mhm.
and just keep doing that until they can drink all of it all at once. You know what I mean? Like I'll start really small so that they can take up everything that's in there. And then every single time they need more, I'll just, instead of top watering, I'll just fill the tray up. But kind of defeats the whole purpose of what they're for at that point. So
Yeah, and as they
I'm
get
gonna try
bigger,
them
they'll drink.
again,
Like
but
you said, they do drink more. I mean, even if you try just one, I mean, you don't have to do the whole. Just try back, putting one
yeah,
on there, the next one, and then start with that lower pH, and then go from there. And I try not to fill it with any more than what it's going to take 2 or 3 days to fill up, because because by the time you get to that third or fourth day, your pH is back up to like almost 6.0 or so.
yeah,
At least it's been a while since I've tested it, but that's probably about where it's at. Because like I said, I
yeah.
test pH before I put it in. I don't check in. I don't siphon any out and check it later. If there's a little bit left in there, I'm still just dumping lower pH in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only
But
reason why I checked is because I was having an issue. So then
right,
I was like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I didn't know if it was because there was like residual nutrients in there, and every time I add nutrients, it's now more than what I'm supposed to be adding,
hmm
or if it was my pH or what it was. I didn't know. Or if my
yeah.
soil was too wet, like I didn't know what was going on. So I had to check everything at that point. Just
You just need some
so I
magic
kn
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to
How much
ship
does
some
it cost
magic
to ship
water to
water from
Canada.
you?
Probably
That's
a
that's what we
whole
need.
lot more.
Bunny and I could
Yes.
both use some of that magic water.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure.
So, but like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
the only thing that I can think of, but with that, other than that, I mean, the plants, if sometimes they'll get to a point where they kind of stop uptaking a little bit, depending on how far along they are in flower or anything. We just start hand watering the top a little bit just to kind of soak everything back through until they start picking it back up. Um,
Yeah.
Unless you're that big behemoth that we have in the one tent, she has nothing. She won't suck any water out of the bottom of that thing anymore. There's nothing. That water's just sitting there. We're top feeding. Um, her roots are so big and so thick. She's being pushed off the pot, so there's no way
Mm.
I know that's
Yeah.
great.
that she's uptaking anything from that sucker.
Yeah, you showed that
So
on
I
Friday
just,
night, and that pot's
Yeah.
sitting like an inch above the
mm,
above the tray because the roots are so thick, they're pushing the whole pot up. And this is
yeah,
it's a plant, a one plant in a 4x4 tent, correct?
yes, in a 2 gallon
And
pot.
it's taking up 95% of the tent. Like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
and is that's an autoflower as well?
That one is not. That is a permanent
Okay.
marker. It's a photo.
Oh, right,
Um,
right, right.
yeah, that one was actually Carl's plant. So we grew that one. Now, oh, sorry, they're talking about pH and stuff over there. Didn't know if that was a question or. Um, Yeah, every once in a while I pay attention to the chat. Half the time I'm just not paying attention to it. Carl's over
I
there
see
answering
it.
questions for me. He does really good about that, controlling all the
Yeah.
questions and answering things for me while I'm over here.
Yeah. I see the
'Cause
chat, but I try to Wednesdays I try to put my blinders up a little bit.
focus.
I see it. I'm
Yeah.
reading it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
And
it's
then oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not anything else. Just the two wick systems crossing. I mean, there's not really anything else I do. Just that magic water, fairy dust.
Damn it, I
Now,
knew
what
it.
would you consider your style of growing? I know you do auto, so do
Mhm.
you top? Do you train? I know some people say you're not supposed to.
I don't like topping those. And I don't actually think, unless I broke it by accident, I've never topped an auto. Um, I have topped photos. I just don't like topping plants. I don't know what it is because we've even grown some photos, and we've
Yeah.
topped them, and like the GMO banana that we had all scrogged out. Um, Topped that one, scrogged it out. Believe it or not, I can't seem to get as good of a quality out of a plant if I top it or really stress it out. If I just let it grow and be a plant, hey Ace, um, then when I do that, it turns out better. I don't know what it is,
I
Yeah.
agree.
and um, I don't do. There's only one plant I do high stress training on. The auto orange. I beat her up like there's no tomorrow. Or as my kids would say, my redhead stepchild. Um, I do actually have a couple redheads, by the way. Uh, and then, I mean, other than that, I use bud clips on anything if I'm going to do any type of training. I just
Yeah.
do bud clips, um, maybe pulling one branch a little bit here and here. That's pretty much it.
I feel personally feel there's a time and a place for each one of those techniques,
Hmm.
topping or training. But if you start training early enough, you can eliminate topping altogether. If you start
Hmm.
training when they're only like this big, you can start bringing everything up all at once and you can maintain that canopy rate from 2, 3 weeks old. You know what I mean? Like you can start
Yeah.
building that foundation early on and you never have to top your plants at that point. But if you do what I did in my first tent over here, if you do what I did over here and you don't train anything for the first like 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, then I got to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? It's a little bit late to kind of like start that canopy because it's already happening. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna top the plant now, which topping the plant was like cutting this much off the top of the plant, and it wasn't just like a little minor top. It was like cut that bitch in half. And so at that point, it was kind of like, okay, well, I kind of have to do it this way. But if you start early enough, I think you can avoid topping altogether because you can just manage where all those colas are gonna be early on. So
Yeah. I mean, and it, it's just a difference in growth style. Honestly, I don't like
Yep.
doing it because I'm under more of the philosophy that let's just let the plant be a plant. The natural
Yes.
plant grows up. It has a main cola. It has several smaller branches. It's supposed to look more, for the most part, either bent out or Christmas tree shaped. You know, it's supposed to have but sometimes I just move a little branches or take certain ones off because they're not going to develop as well or they're not going to, you know, look as good. They're not as strong as some of the other ones. But I mean, other than that, it's some, and I defoliate a plant from usually right off. Once they hit the veg stage and they get to about a certain height, I'll go, okay, you look like you could lose a few leaves, and I'll start plucking off the big fan leaves.
yeah,
But other than that, I mean, I continue to defoliate throughout the whole process. There's not any. Um, I do usually a couple like big strips through the process depending on the plant. But then there are some that you grow, you just don't have to. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
take a couple here and there, but for the most part, they grow pretty well, pretty even, all looks well. You just let them grow.
Yeah.
I mean, unless...
Do you have a certain time, in flower that you're like, I shouldn't do it at this time, or I don't care what bro science tells me or what science tells me, I'm just gonna fucking do it anyways. Do you like?
I'm gonna fucking do it if I want to. That's just it. If
Yeah.
I look at it and go, I don't like that, it's gotta go, it's gotta go.
Okay.
I don't do the day 1 and day 21 or the specific times or dates that anybody says, on like day 14 of flower, you've got to go ahead and defoliate. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do it when I
The
want.
plant's gonna, yeah, I'll do it when I want. I'm growing here.
Yeah, I'm
But
I'm
it's
the
just,
boss.
yeah, I mean, I don't believe in any of that it says you need to do it here or you need to do it there. Now, the closer it gets to the end of flower, I really don't do a whole lot to them at all. Just because by that point, I want them to focus more on building that good bud structure. I may take a big fan leaf off here if it's getting, if it's getting like too much humidity or something in the tent. If I've got 4 or 5 plants or something and I've got a lot of humidity in there and dehumidifier's just not pulling it all out or something, then I go ahead and I'll defoliate some. But usually
Yeah.
not towards the end of flower. I'll just crank
Let them do
everything
their
up and let
thing.
him go. That's okay, Macho. We still love you.
We were talking about you before, anyways. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
go back and
I already
rewatch.
said all the bad stuff about you before you got here, so it's cool.
Yeah, we got that all
So,
out of the way.
yeah, that way you don't have to worry about it. So, but
Um,
no, there's not
do
really
you
a whole lot
notice?
that I do.
Do you not notice a big humidity spike when you're using those watering trays? When you're adding water to the tent, do you notice a big difference or not really?
Not really. It does go up a little bit, but for the most part, I try to keep the humidity right around the same as it always is. A lot of it is
Yeah.
I have a huge dehumidifier, like one that's big enough for like a 2,000 square foot house, just
Right.
in that one lung room. So
Okay.
it tends to keep the humidity down, especially when you're in a high humidity area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be 45 one day and 75 the next. I've got to keep it regulated as much as I can.
Yeah.
So the outside humidity, outside the tents, really helps to keep the inside humidity good. Now, when I'm moving plants around and I forget, and I'm like, oh, I've just pulled all those out. Oh, damn, I forgot to turn the humidifier on to bring it back up for the seedlings that are in here. I'm like, oh, well, hey, you guys suffered for a
It
day.
happens.
I hate it for you. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
build
You know
character.
what? You're
Make them
just
stronger.
hardening them. You're just hardening them off. That's all.
That's right.
You're just getting them ready for their life. It's not going to be easy, plants. You're going to have to survive. As
If you
Lowe's
got to
Grow
survive
says,
me in
only
this
the
house,
strong survive.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
got to survive me growing you, you're gonna have to toughen up.
Yeah.
Because
How do
it's
you feel
just like my
about
kids.
killing plants? If you're having issues with plants, how do you feel about
Mm,
having to, axe one? Are you the type that's like, oh no, I gotta nurture it and save it and bring it back to life, no matter how sick or bad it is, I gotta bring it back? Or are you the one that's
uh,
like, you know what, fuck it, clip?
it really, I guess it would depend on what's wrong with it. Out of the two of us, for the most part, I would say I'm the one over Carl who would be like, no, let's just get rid of it. Um, but there have been a couple with the last couple of grows that I've had that are where the plants, they don't seem to grow as well. They start off really slow. It takes them a lot longer. Have like some sort of mutation or they just look different from the others. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we'll just let it grow and see what it does. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's actually, those two had turned out to be two of the better out of the other ones the same phenotype. So I mean,
Yeah.
so it just depends on what's going on. I have not, knock on wood, run into bug issues or anything like that. Now, to
Oh,
me,
I
that would,
can't believe you just said that out
that's
loud.
why I knocked on wood. But that's one of those things that if I did, it would be, no, you're out of here. I'm gone. It's done. I'm
Yeah.
not even trying. I'm going to take
Yeah.
something that's going to take weeks and weeks of, like I said, I'm a
Now, what
lazy
if you
grower.
were like, what if you were like a week from flower and something like that happened? Would you chop it down, or would you be like, you know what? I'm so close to the end. We should just let it finish, and then we'll go through and like wipe everything out.
It probably at that point would depend on what the genetics were. Did I actually pay for those? Is it something I can readily get again? Is it
Right.
is it
Yeah.
something that a friend of mine gave me, or is it something? Because there was one of the owl pellets that I initially grew, and oh no, it was a Royal Queen, um, and it was the, I think it was their GG4, the Gorilla Glue or whatever theirs is. Um, we were growing it, and I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like structure. I don't like anything. And I'm like, we'll just throw it away. Just take it away, cut it down.
Yeah.
And Carl was like, no, no, we'll do this and we'll do that. And he's like, I'll tie it all together. And he tied it up and got it all. I mean, because the whole thing, I mean, it was long and it just wanted to flop all over the place. It didn't have all structure or strength to it. And I was just like, eh. And he's like, no, he's like, I'll take care of it. And it grew out to be a really good, I mean, he really enjoyed it. And I was like, okay. I was like, that one's yours. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
done. That was yours.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess it just depends, really.
It makes sense.
So,
I mean, I know Bunny's run into an issue very recently, and then I've run into issues in the past where I'm always the one that's like, fuck it, cut it down. I'll start over.
mhm.
And Bunny was like a week out from chopping down to begin with and was like, fuck, what do I do? So it
Yeah,
just kind
And
of,
then I
that
was
question just
like,
kind of fit into what we were
yeah.
talking about.
I said I was
yeah,
gonna give it another week, but then halfway through that week, I was like, fuck this. And I just cut it all down. I said, that's it,
Yeah.
I'm done. Just gonna restart. Outdoors coming. Cut my
yeah,
losses.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and there are certain things, like we were trying, anytime we do any of these little experiments or different things in our garden and that kind of stuff, we found a few things that just work, or we messed them up, or we did this, and I'm like, yeah, just cut them and be done. We'll just get rid of all three of those and just start over.
Yeah.
Because we actually even did that with some of the testers that we received in. And we were like, well, let's try something new. Let's do this. And then we had to end up just getting rid of all three of them and starting over. And we were like, hey, but I mean, we had already told the breeder, hey, this is what we were doing. And he's like, oh, that's good. And I'm like, okay. So, well, actually, Carl did, because they were his. So it was just like, this is what we did. This is how it turned out. Just so you know, this doesn't work. And
Yeah.
he was like, okay. So, I mean, it ultimately it depends. Now, if my best friend gave me that strain, I would not do anything different. I wouldn't do anything crazy with it. I would grow it out, and I would, do my best to try, to the best of my ability, get a great plant. But
Yeah.
if it didn't turn out, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. So
It
it just,
happens. I mean, shit
yeah,
happens sometimes.
yeah,
There's sometimes where things are, um, like so out of our control. Like we try to control everything, but sometimes it's out of our control at that
yeah,
point. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah. I mean,
sometimes you
it's just
just
like,
gotta cut your losses and move on, and sometimes it's hard to do that. Sometimes you can't do that. So it's like you gotta figure it out as you kind of go along, I guess.
yeah, well, and that
Yes.
goes along with I had sent her, my best friend, a clone of that GMO banana. And when I grew it and we cloned it, I mean, like, all the clones looked really good. We planted a couple already. I sent it to her and was like, all of a sudden, she's like, oh my gosh, it's dying. And she felt so bad. She's like, I'm killing it. I'm like, well, what are you feeding it? It's like you forget sometimes to do those certain things. You forget to
Yeah.
ask questions. It's like, I've been feeding that thing full strength nutrients since we pulled it off the plant. So
Yeah.
we didn't cut, because it is already when it was the full plant. So I never stopped.
Yeah.
You know, I put it in there, gave it a little bit of water the first time, and then from then on, it was just full strength nutrients. And she's like, "Oh, well, I was giving it this," and I was like, "Oh no, sorry, I should have told you. Just go full strength." And now
Yeah.
she has this big, pretty. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's growing. It looks gorgeous. It's doing really well. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks prettier than one of the ones that I did keep that's in there." And I'm like, "See, it just needed some food,
Isn't that a
you
bitch
know."
when that
So
happens? Whoa,
yeah,
what just happened?
I thought you were gonna play me a
Uh,
video.
I thought we were too, but I didn't click anything. Funny. No.
I
But
was
I
like,
mean we are right at the end of the hour, so which is crazy. That was another super fast one. And sometimes I think an hour is not long enough, but um do you want to let everybody know where they can find you, Discords, Instagrams, all of that stuff?
absolutely. Find me on Instagram, CC420 underscore cannabis 2, because Instagram sucks. And
Yes.
yes.
then, yes, y'all don't forget to trip over that like and subscribe button on your way out today. Um, I do have my own YouTube channel, CC420. I have like 6 videos ready to post. Need to push the button. So y'all look for some stuff to come up there.
I'll make
Um,
sure all that's down in the bottom after the episode.
Yes.
yep. And I've started my grow diaries on some fast buds that I got going now, and working on some other things. And I'm everywhere. You'll find me if you need to find me anywhere. Just look behind the production screen somewhere. Seed to harvest, Ruse Goofy growing on Friday nights. Other than that, I'm in
Yes.
everybody's chat, so you just see me anywhere.
Nice.
Discord, find me the most on Discord. Whether it be my Discord, GCN, Seed to Harvest, wherever. I'm on it, just about everybody. So, hey, Slobby, I didn't know he was even in here. That's another
Oh
silly rabbit
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, he hangs out in here quite a bit
Hmm.
actually.
Yep.
So yeah. But
So,
yeah, thank you very much for giving up your time tonight and hanging out with us.
oh,
It's always
Yeah, it
absolutely.
was
good,
a lot
good
of
Oh,
to
I
get to
look.
fun.
know the person behind the garden a little bit. And
Hmm.
Yes.
yeah, make sure everybody goes over and subscribes to CC's YouTube channel. And if you can't find it, it will be in the notes down below after the episode. I will do that right after while I'm thinking about it. And
Yes.
check out her Instagram and all of that fun stuff.
Thanks,
So
Macho.
yeah. And if you guys want to see her garden on Friday night, she always comes in
Hmm.
and shows her garden. So pop in on Friday night so you can see CC's garden.
Yep. No, and we're gonna start doing some updates and stuff. So y'all will start seeing a whole lot more of my plants coming up. So I
Nice.
got new toys I'm
Excited.
playing with, and it's all kind of good fun stuff. So,
Nice.
but
It's
I
exciting.
appreciate y'all bringing me on. I'm always just like hanging
Absolutely.
out, just talking, just shooting the shit, you know, not really doing a whole lot. Um,
Well, we're glad you
so,
came on.
But
oh
it's
yeah.
fun too to just kind of like sit down with like one of the gromies, you know what I mean? And just kind of like
Hmm.
talk
And
about
it's
growing.
nice
Like,
when it's another woman too. So that's a bonus.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and there are very few of us actually.
Yes.
And so, but one quick thing: if any of y'all, if you saw the Discord link for my Discord that's in there, if you join, just in order to get into any of those grow alongs that you want to do, make sure that you do actually accept the rules. I do have some people that have gone in and they don't accept the rules. You can't actually message or do anything until you do it. So a lot of discords have gone to that lately. So just you can
yeah,
see everything. You
Yes.
just can't send messages or be a part of the channel until you actually do. So just one of
Hmm.
those little things. So, but yeah,
yes,
y'all just
yes,
see me around, and thank you for having me. It was fun as always.
absolutely. You're
Of
welcome
course.
anytime.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right,
You
you
as
have a good night.
well.
Have a good
Bye.
rest of your week. Bye.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
Yes.
Try not to do a whole lot. Oh yes, and Elle, I love cats too.
All right.
That
You have
goes.
yourself a good rest of your week, and we'll hopefully see you Friday.
Oh yes, yes,
Yes.
you'll be on there. See
All
my
right.
plants.
All righty.
Bye.
Have a
Yay.
good night. Bye.
Night.
Hell
That was so much
yeah.
fun.
That was
Shout
fun.
out to Elle as well for being a sponsor of GCN.
Yes,
And you
yes.
could find his link at elcanaconcept.com, I think it was.
Yes. We got a link to his website in our YouTube bio. You click the
Yes.
more part and it'll open up the whole window. It's got all the
Yes.
links in there. We got a link to Alcana Concepts in there as well. And yeah, you guys need yourself a dope logo or some kind of a graphic or something like that, or you guys would just want to buy a cool Seed to Harvest shirt or an Alcana Concept shirt, it's where to go. And
That's right.
we got merch too. We got a
We
link in our description
do.
for our merch too. We can't just push L's merch. We gotta push ours too. But yeah, definitely go check out L's website and see what he's doing over there because it's pretty dope. So and
Yes.
yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say there. I got all excited and I don't know what I was gonna say.
So yeah, what a great interview. And speaking of ladies, next week we have another lady coming on. We
We
have
do.
the Fresh Princess coming on. So that's
Yeah.
going to be a good one too. She just grows hydroponically, if I'm correct, right?
Like hydro aeroponic type stuff. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
shit going on over there in her garden. She doesn't grow cannabis, I don't think. She grows like vegetables and flowers and stuff like that, but it's all indoor with these crazy setups. So, um, I feel like a lot of what she's doing can be transferred over to what we do with cannabis. So, I think that's going to be a
Yes.
super cool episode as well. So,
And she's also a big supporter of OGO. We
yes,
had Andrew Heckman on. They're doing a giveaway over on Instagram if you want to check that out as well.
yes, yes. I believe, I don't know if it's still up or not. I think I posted it yesterday. I posted a story to their giveaway. It's probably not up there anymore. It's probably done already. But yeah, definitely go over and check out either Andrew Heckman or Ogo Rowing. It's probably wrong.
OGO grown, I think.
Just type in Ogo in Instagram and like all of them will come up. He's got like 42 of them.
OGGO.
Yeah. And he's got a pretty crazy system over there too. So he's making them,
Yes.
producing them, selling them, and yeah,
It was pretty cool. He was at Muskoka's house not that long ago. I don't know if
yeah, like a week ago
Muskoka's.
or something. I think he's coming down here
Yeah,
soon too. I think he's gonna be hanging out over here in the Ganic studio very soon.
it's going to be so exciting.
Yes,
But
yes.
on that note, Friday it is Show Your Grow, so come on and show your grow. And I think that's pretty much it for tonight.
Subscribe. We want to do this damn giveaway.
We
But yeah, peace.
will see you Friday.
Yeah.